Alright, hey everybody, I just wanted to give you an overview of the assignment that's due this week with the 3 articles that you have to do. So the first thing I want you to do is click on week 1 and go down to the syllabus because it has a overview of that, of the assignment in there. You can also find it under files, but the easier way I think is probably just click on week 1 and go to syllabus. So here's mine. So scroll down to the third page, the bottom of the third page, where you have the journal article presentation. That's basically what this assignment is. It's the culmination, where it culminates in week 8, with a presentation where you basically go over some sort of research that you found regarding a topic in the class. So, you can choose anything from values, morality, motivation, anything like that. So anything that we've covered. That can be in the text, in a video, anywhere else that you may have found it in Canvas, as long as it doesn't come from Google or something. It has to be somewhere in the confines of the class. So that's what this is talking about, basically saying that we're in week 6 now. You've read the first 10 chapters of the book. I think there's 12 or 14 chapters overall. So you have a majority of the content already. So you can start choosing which one stands out to you in your mind, which one do you enjoy the most, which one just generally stood out, which one do you think is most applicable. Choose any one you want. And then it says during the 5th week, but obviously it's during the 6th week because that's the week we're in. Made a few changes there. But find 3 journal articles regarding any theory that we covered in the class. And as long as it focuses on culture, which you really can't get away too much from culture as long as you focus on the topics in here. Some of the theories aren't culture specific, and so you may have to do some search, but I'll show you how to do that in just a second. And then during week 6, which is actually week 7, which is next week, you'll just choose one. You're going to give me basically a works cited page with 3 journal articles this week, saying these are the ones that I'm thinking about using. I'll look them over, just say yes or no, or maybe I'll suggest one rather than some of the 3 or something like that. I'll give you some feedback. Anyways, during next week, you'll have to choose just one and then give a summary of the key points, findings, and overall takeaways, because then in week 8, the assignment concludes with a video presentation where you go over those things for the class. This is basically just how we got to where we're at. So, so that's the overview on the syllabus. So now if you go back to the class and you click on this assignment, hopefully it makes a little bit more sense. Submit 3 journal articles for consideration. Here it talks about, as outlined in the videos, find 3 articles, which I'm about to show you how to do. Discuss culture and psychology, or if you choose any topic covered in class, and that includes in text or in video, anywhere that you find within the confines of Canvas. Find 3 potential articles, submit a works cited page with these 3 citations included, and remember to use MLA format. Okay? So how do you do that? Well, I always tell everybody go to lindenwood.edu, and in the search bar, the easiest way to do it is just go to the search bar, type in library, and I say that because I know some folks are using their phone to do this, or at least I always have a couple students who want to use their phone, and it's hard to find the library if you just don't search for it. So to search for library, scroll down, it's going to be the Lindenwood Library here. If you want to just type in the link too, you can just put in Lindenwood. I think it's library.lindenwood.edu. If I remember correctly, yeah. If you just type in library.lindenwood.edu, it'll take you there as well. Anyways, click on this link, take you to the library. I'm going to close this one because it's the exact same link. And it looks like I got it twice, but anyways, so scroll down. It talks about the updated library hours, if anybody needs to be there in person. I don't know what this Lindenwood Library Online Continuity is, but what we're looking for is the finding resources. And by resources, it's talking about, everything right here. Books, course reserves, databases, journals, everything you need for research as far as, searching the background, what we call literature review. That information is going to be discussed here. So anyways, click on databases. And I always tell everybody to go with Academic Search Ultimate because you're going to see up here, these are alphabetized by these are all databases that are alphabetized. So if you go down the list, you have all these different databases. Well, if you just go to Academic Search Ultimate, it has most of them already in there. So instead of going to age line and searching for your topic, and then going to agriculture collection and searching your topic, and Alexander, you can just check all of those in this one database. So go ahead and click Access Database. And you'll probably have to sign in. It's the same sign-in that you use for Canvas, so username, password. It didn't have me sign in. I don't know why. Usually does, but anyways, if you need to, just sign in. Choose your database. That's that little link up at the top under Searching, Academic Search Ultimate. Choose Databases, and this is where all those other databases are. So there's AgeLine, like I talked about. I don't know if agriculture is going to be in here because it's not really the same topic. It might be in here somewhere, but anyways, majority of those databases, all the applicable ones are going to be here. So click Select and deselect all. So that way we can select all the databases, hit OK, and then go to that first line. So now, like I said, you can pick anything from the text, from a video, anything from the class that has to do with culture. And so what I would suggest, let's say we do self-determination theory. Do that one. We're going to, I just searched that one by itself. But anyways, you want to click over here, text, and then go to all text. And down here, let's put in culture. I mean, you could pick any aspect of culture. You could put in cultural values, enculturation, cultural morality, anything. I'm just going to put in culture just to see what I can find, though. I'm going to do all text again. Now it's going to combine these two search threads and search. Put them into one. Here we are. Ideal football culture, a cultural take on self-determination theory. So there we go. I mean, that would be perfect. Now, what I do suggest, and this just kind of goes for all research, is down here under publication date, we typically try, as researchers, we try and stay within the last 5 years. So I'm going to say, let's go to 2015. And it's usually pretty helpful if you go to full text, because this one right here, you may or may not be able to find it because you're looking for one that actually has the full PDF. If it doesn't have the PDF, you may or may not be able to find it whenever you click on it. So I'm going to put in 2015 and click on full text. Now sometimes this is kind of janky, so I'm going to come back down here and ensure that it actually did both, because you'll notice it did 2015, but it didn't give me the full text. So I'm going to click it again, and there. So now both of them are in there, and I'm going to look people and profits, the impact of corporate objectives on employees' need satisfaction at work. So we're talking about need satisfaction. I'm assuming they use self-determination theory to measure that. Here we are. Yep. So self-determination theory. So that works because we're talking about a corporate culture. Now, oh yeah, right there, corporate culture. I was going to say, now I hope they were, because otherwise that wouldn't work, because we need something to do with a culture, or some aspect of culture, or just whatever. Anything to do with culture, it doesn't matter. You just have to combine whatever it is you're looking up with culture. Because self-determination theory isn't actually specific to cultural studies. Self-determination theory is actually a motivation theory that I used it in my own dissertation, my own study, and it had nothing to do with culture. It was looking at how video games impact one's ability to learn. Nothing really to do with culture. So that's why I say you have to mix it with culture, because self-determination theory by itself is not actually a cultural study. So that's why I had to put in culture with it. So now that I have culture kind of identified here, really any of these are going to work. Japanese work ethic and culture, new paradigm on intrinsic motivation. So that's where we know the self-determination theory comes from. There it is. Anyways, once you find some that you like, I want you to choose 3. And you can click on find the full PDF full text. Read through it a little bit, make sure it's something you're interested in, because you may end up having to give, you're going to have to give a presentation on one of these articles, and you may end up giving it on this one. So make sure you actually at least enjoy or find these 3 articles interesting, because you may end up doing the presentation on one. You don't want to do a presentation on something you think stupid. So anyways, there's that. Now once you click on it, I'm going to give you kind of words of wisdom here. If you click on this right-hand side over here, you have Google Drive, print, email. You can save them to a folder. But if you click on this one, Cite, it actually gives you the citation. Okay. Here's the APA citation. We're not using APA, but you may use that one in the future. And that one actually just changed, by the way. So it should give you the updated version. Here's MLA. This is what we're using. So you can highlight, copy. Now, if you copy that directly into Word, it's going to take that background highlighting, and sometimes it's hard to get it off. And plus, it's not double spaced or anything. So you can change that, of course. Make sure it's 12 point Times New Roman. I talked about that a lot with the feedback in your self-reflection essays. And then do the hanging indent and double space. So you can watch that part of the video again if you need to, because that's essentially how you do that. We're still not rid of that background highlighting, and sometimes you can't get rid of it. So I'm going to try. I'm going to go up here to the highlighter. I'm going to go no color. See, it's still there. So if you can't get rid of it, here's what I do. I open up Notepad. Now if you have to find that, it's probably all the way down. You have to go to your Start menu, or where I guess Windows menu now, and you go down to Windows Accessories. It's if you have Windows. Now, if you don't have Windows, I'm not really too sure how to do this, but you go to Notepad either way. You have to find, if you're using Apple, is what I'm trying to say, there's probably a Notepad application, an application similar to Notepad that you can use, because you're looking for something that's going to strip all of the formatting off of it. Okay? Because when you paste it in there, all the formatting's taken away. You copy it again, and I'm trying to paste it. There we are. And so now it got rid of the background, but you'll also notice that whenever I stripped all the formatting out, it also lost the italics. So you have to go back to that original version and find out what words were supposed to be italicized. So I'm going to come here and italicize it. And then also right here, EBSCOhost, that's supposed to be italicized as well. So I'm going to go back. So just words of wisdom. You can copy and paste from this, but when you do, it's going to take this background. You can paste it in a notepad. It'll get rid of that background, but it'll also get rid of all the italicizing. So when you paste it back into your works cited page, I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. Now you are forming what's a proper MLA works cited page. Now I'll tell you too, and I wasn't actually planning on this video becoming an MLA formatting video, but anyways, right click on it, go to paragraph, and drop this 8 point down to 0, because that should also be 0. It'll scrunch things a little bit, but that's actually how it's supposed to be. One thing that I also noticed in your self-reflection videos, a lot of folks forgot to put the page number. So to do that, you go to Insert, and go over here to Page Number, top of page, and plain number 3. So again, you can watch this part of the video again if you need to find that out, because then you'll need to put your last name. And all of this also needs to be in 12 point, because it defaults to 11 point Calibri. You have to be 12 points Times New Roman. Now, if you haven't used Times New Roman lately, it's going to be all the way at the bottom, Times New Roman. And there we are. So that's what's the proper MLA formatting, how to do that. Now, you need 3 citations. I only have 1 here. So just make sure that you give me 3 whenever you save this and submit, because now you'll come back to submitting those 3 journal articles, and you'll submit it. Let me show you what that looks like. Oh, I can't show you because I have to publish it to show you. But you've all done this before, I'm pretty sure now. You'll get the little submit button up here. You submit it, and then you just submit your file, because all I want is your works cited page for this. Okay. Now next week, you'll have to choose one of the 3 citations that you give me, and you'll have to give me a summary of the main points, but I'll talk about that stuff next week. So for now, that's all I'm looking for in this assignment. So if you have any questions, of course, email me, call me, text me, whatever you need to do. But just let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I will see you guys in week 7.